morning, everybody, and welcome to DBD News Mystery Streamer Gauntlet Edition. My name is freaking Nick, and today's top story... Are you okay, Behavior? The last several weeks have seen Dead by Daylight's developers involved in controversy after controversy after controversy. First off, the Walking Dead release ended up having a few bugs involved. Just a few. We're still scrolling. There's a little bit more than this. Yeah. However, what made matters worse was Behavior's response to negative fan sentiment. When it came to a glitch that allowed survivors to stack infinite charges on toolboxes and therefore finish generators in about 30 seconds, they said that it was not severe enough to warrant a kill switch and that they were just going to implement a fix down the line. They later doubled and then tripled down on this policy. It got to the point where Dead by Daylight players started asking other companies to try to fix the game. This fan movement was picked up by IGN and posted in an article, and then the following day was when Behavior was like, damn, fine, and then they issued an apology and kill switched the perks. After this, Behavior and the players had about 3 days of peace and quiet. That's because on Monday, on the official Dead by Daylight Twitch channel, they had Chandler Riggs flown out to the studio so he could play Dead by Daylight with Oddstarva, Ghost Arcade, Mish, and G-Bird. One problem though, they didn't even get to play Dead by Daylight. That's because their lobbies were repeatedly invaded by hackers sending DDoS attacks to crash their lobbies. The lack of preparedness for the DDoS attacks and the bot's response received a ton of criticism, with Behavior issuing yet another apology the next day. A couple of days later, and after I had already finished recording and editing this video, Dead by Daylight posted to their socials a new video saying that rather than apologize, they were going to start making some changes and telling players what those changes will be so that they can be held accountable. Part of these changes involved delaying Chapter 37 till late September instead of early September, and delaying the next licensed chapter from November until January of 2026. They also are considering delaying or canceling the chapter in March, which was going to be just an original survivor. It is worth noting that seasonal and special events are going to remain unchanged in their release date and in the content that they have planned for those, but aside from that, they are delaying chapters and new content releases in order to try to fix Dead by Daylight. Overall, this is a very good first step in repairing relationships between the developers and the players. However, what's most important is that they act on these, so we will remain hopeful going forward. Our next story regards upcoming content. Next week, we'll see the return of 2v8, a fan favorite game mode in Dead by Daylight. There will not be any new killers added to this iteration of 2v8, but we will be seeing the Treatment Theater, the Shattered Square, and the Greenville Square as new maps. We are also going to see Dead by Daylight's new Play While You Wait feature, which will make it so while you are waiting in a killer queue to play a round of 2v8, you can play survivor rounds. And once you get to the front of the queue, you can just finish your survivor round and then hop right back into your queue. Our final story today regards the whereabouts of Jim Beam. Jim was introduced to Dead by Daylight with the Walking Dead patch as a visual bug in the lobby offering screen. With the latest bug fix, he has been removed from the offering screen. However, the developers of DBD have given a badge commemorating his existence to every player of the game. Though, to be fair, Behavior has received some criticism for using this as a distraction to... Hold on. I'm hearing a breaking story about a missing persons report in Mount Ormond. Let's speak with our field reporter in the location. Mable, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Nick. We are here on the ground to bring you the latest developments in that ongoing story about a mysterious entity that officials say is responsible for numerous disappearances. In a previous report, we shared a stunning update from investigators about 2 young men found alive here after a witness heard moans coming from a locker. New tonight, we have a more detailed report from authorities that describes the survivors' injuries and the conditions they were enduring leading up to their rescue. From the initial statement, we do know that the survivors had visible scratch marks and bruising on their bodies, but we can now tell you that after a more thorough examination, bite marks were discovered as well. Further interviews with the witness who discovered the pair reveal they did not just hear moaning coming from that locker, but heavy breathing as well, which we can only imagine was a result of evading the danger they were in. And really...
I'm sorry, Mabel, I'm going to have to cut you off there. The network is telling us that the next round is ready to start, but don't worry, we will get back to this story along with a mysterious note and a $100 reward for anybody with information, so stay tuned for that. This is freaking Nick with DBD News, signing off for now. Welcome back to... Oh, sorry. I left my PNG tuber equipped. 1 sec. Wait, no, that's worse. Welcome back, everyone, to DBD News. We have been following a developing story about 2 missing people found in the Mount Ormond ski resort inside of a locker. Our reporter in the field is here to share new information on the case, along with a mysterious note that was found at the scene. Authorities are offering a $100 reward for anybody who is able to decipher its message for investigators. Mable?
Yeah, Nick, authorities have uncovered startling new evidence they say may indicate there are more survivors and help lead to their rescue. Investigators have found an astonishing number of broken bottles that contain a yellow substance they believe to be urine. A detail I really wish they would have mentioned before handing it to me just moments ago. The lead investigator on this case told us they have recovered a, quote, unfathomable number of these bottles. They also can't seem to understand why anyone would even be using bottles when they're out in the wilderness, or how they're managing to stay so hydrated, but the evidence is being taken to a laboratory now for testing. Authorities also say they have found a note in possession of one of the Mount Ormond survivors, or rather, it was discovered in their pants pocket. Those pants were reportedly found in the locker next to the one the 2 men were in. That note is now being shared with the public, and anyone watching this broadcast who can help the authorities track down what's being described in its cryptic message will receive a sizable reward. Investigators say the survivor found this note in the fog, and it appears to describe a marking left behind somewhere by the entity. A marking authorities are now desperate to find. Here it is on your screen now, and I'll send it back to Nick in the studio for more information on how you can help crack this case.
Thank you, Mable. So the note is believed to include a coded message, and it reads, "There is no mistaking when darkness falls. I hear it so clearly like writing on walls. Yet still it does scare me, and I don't know why. An entity phantom that enjoys when I cry. But now and again it cries in return. A short jarring screech in my brain will it burn. Don't you dare take a peek if you feel that it's near, for all that it wants is to feed off your fear." And it is written by one CM. Be sure to write this message down or take a photo or screenshot of this note, because if you can decipher its message and find the clue that it's talking about while you're out searching in the fog, your reward will be a $100 gift card to the platform of your choice. Just take a screenshot or a photo of your discovery and post it in Mish's Discord. Here we thought they were in danger and they were probably just writing poetry and pissing in bottles. Sounds like a Kate Denson concert. Anybody remember her? Nevertheless, investigators are still treating this as a serious matter and would like your help in solving the case. If you have any questions about the mystery or the reward, feel free to reach out to Mish and her team and they will get back to you. Now let's get back to the game. This is freaking Nick from DBD News, signing off.